What's up, world? Jamie Kennedy here, 55. Alive to thrive. Pod's going good. We're getting growing. So I'm going to do that hackneyed thing that people do. Please like, please subscribe, because I think my shit was getting a little buried. But we had Sam the man, Tripoli, come in and blow up my algorithm in the best way. So thank you, Sam, and watch one of his 8 pods on his channel. And now this is Hate to Break It to You, World's on Fire edition. That is where I react to crazy-ish in the world. So as you know, Jamie Kennedy is here. He's going to do a few different things. I think I'm going to have Hate to Break It to You, World's on Fire with his guest, and then Hate to Break It to You streaming. IRL. So it's all under Hate to Break It to You. That's how I see it. Boom, boom. This is what we're doing. I was a little out of it, but let's get right into it. Let's just get right into it. This is what we're doing. And before I get into it, the number one thing in the world is the Epstein list. If you talk to anybody in the truther movement or the expose movement or whatever it is that we want to do, we want to look for it, is we believe that everything is done to distract from the most effed up situation of what that list and all of the things involved with it would lead to. You know, human trafficking, trafficking of children, just horrific shit. You know, I can't even say half the words I want to say because of the algorithm. So when I started my eye-opening journey just doing my pod, and around, it was 2021 when I did that movie about, and people came at me and wrote all this stuff, I was like, no, and I started pushing back. And then people started labeling me as right-wing, but I was not anything. I was just me, and I only voted one time in my whole life. I've said it many times. It was for Obama, because I thought America needed a black guy to get through the racism. I registered as an independent. Okay? Meaning I want to make the best choice possible. I haven't voted since. I pushed Trumples big time during this election cycle because of many things, but 4 of them are the border. I just thought that people were walking in, and it's not about the people. That's okay. It's about criminals, and how sanctuary cities are harboring people that aren't exactly good hombres, but yet, you know, normal people are struggling in New York, can't even pay their rent. So that ain't fair to put up people in a hotel. Number 2 was I liked the tariffs, because I do think America has been getting for the last 50 years. And why not make a few shekels on the deal? And if you're a kid playing with a toy, you ask yourself, who's China? Because everything was made in it. Everything in the world is China, right? So if it brings some jobs back, which is going to be tough because AI is going to do everything, but if at least gets us a couple dollars into our pockets, boom. I also didn't want wars to continue, which is impossible because we're a warmongering species. It's money. It's not about anything more than money. Maybe the super cool guys fight for the freedoms, but hopefully they have the power. But I think the top people are always like, war, I'll fund the bullets. I'll fund the hospitals. I'll fund it all. And then just common sense things like men not having a 9-incher and being able to transfer to the volleyball team by wearing a tube top and going, I'm in a woman's team now. I thought that was like a little bit of a cheat. Again, do your life, but come on, that's a pretty big reach. Also, I look small here, but it's funny. I'm like low on this thing. I do look like a shrimp. It's pretty damn funny. Let me go up a teeny bit. I don't mind it, actually. People are talking about the economy. That, to me, was another one thing because Trump to me, he knows business like a mofo. And when here's an example. When the market went down 2,500 points in the day, I ran and bought the dip. While people were keying Teslas, I bought the dip. And everyone who keyed a Tesla, you could have still keyed your Tesla, although I don't think you should, and buy the dip. Whether you put $100 or $100,000 into it, you could have made money. You'd be up 35% right now. So that's your damage, but people have to act rationally. I'm still super pro Elon. He's about to disrupt AI now. I mean, he's got like 9 industries where he's completely created or taken over. It's insane. The last thing was off the top of my list why I push for Trumpy is transparency. Transparency in the JFK, transparency in 9/11. Hell, transparency with aliens. He said he was going to drop some stuff, and transparency with Epstein, because that was the thing, right? That was the linchpin. That's the thread that if you pull, a lot of things can be unraveled. A lot. It basically, I believe what Eddie Bravo said. I did not say it. He said on Rogan's podcast, everything is a distraction so people don't look at that. And, there's a ton of people that are probably involved. You hear a lot of smoke, right? You hear about from the darkest things to the most sick things to the perverted things. That's what you hear. And so this woman's in jail for 20 years for trafficking, but apparently she trafficked to no one, right? And you can say, oh, it was all just for Jeffrey. No, there was tons of other people there. And yeah. Remind me to tell you a story. I'm not going to tell it now because this is a deep one. But if this stuff gets likes and watches and you really want it, eventually I will. I will tell you a story regarding a cosign thing that is really hard to deny because I saw it in a restaurant. It was nothing illegal, but it was a group of people that I saw in a restaurant a long time ago. And now that they're being talked about and people are distracting, like, oh, this person didn't know this person. I'm like, no, that's person I did see with this other person. So remind me. So, the fact that the list was either now it's insane. People are saying this is 4D chess. People are saying Trump's on it. People are saying it's all added with fake names. But just when Trump said, "Are we still asking about that guy?" Bro, before I get to that, and just to let everyone know, I didn't even vote, but I was definitely, and hopefully it's going to turn out okay, because I was more Trump than I was the other party because I just felt of all those things I said. But I didn't vote because California was tied up. It's never going to go. It's going to have to do a lot for it to be red again. If it was ever red, I don't know. But look, here we are. It's weird. It's either people are saying it's 4D chess. People are saying, tell me you're on it without telling me you're on it. People are saying it's filled with fake information now and AI. People are saying, but if there was this list, which definitely everyone said there was, and if there was this, wouldn't it have been released 5 years ago if Trumpelstiltskin was on it? Well, not if they're all on it. I don't know. But there's, obviously there's always been a lot of smoke there with that Mar-a-Lago footage where Trump's like, you like it? And he's like, look. He's doing that head bob. But, I mean, they were all women at that party. But, a homie next to him was you-know-who. So, anyway, I believe that Epstein is the head or the figurehead of things that go, it's just a tip of the iceberg, as we all think. And it goes across every faction of society, the deepest to the darkest. So, of course, if people are trying to fight releasing it, but that doesn't bode well for Trump, because Trump promised that he was going to release it. But not only is he not releasing it, obviously there's a lot of hands. Who knows what his hands are tied or whatever, or he's scared, or, I'm trying to say what I'm trying to say here. Bottom line is, you don't fucking disacknowledge the shit, bro, and be like, are we still talking about that? Yes! That's the number one thing we fucking all are here for, bro. We don't co-sign the PEDs. That's why we're here. We don't co-sign the PEDs. If we're pushing back on maps, we ain't gonna let the PEDs go. Okay? So, that's weird. So, I don't know if that video is in here, but this is one of the videos.
No, she's given us just a very quick briefing, and in terms of the credibility of the different things that they've seen. And I would say that, these files were made up by Comey, they were made up by Obama, they were made up by the Biden, we went through years of that with the Russia hoax, with all of the different things that we had to go through. We've gone through years of it, but she's handled it very well, and it's going to be up to her. Whatever she thinks is credible, she should release.
A lady's in jail because of a hoax. JP Chase Morgan paid out $290 million to victims because of a hoax. They were victims. Were 1,000 victims all just victims to Epstein? There was not one other perpetrator, not just one? Not one? And if there was, wouldn't that mean that it's real? Even if the list is just one other dude that was in a towel behind Jeffrey and go, hey, Jeffrey, can I get sloppies? Like, would that be considered a list? What about all the flight manifests, all of this stuff? But it's a hoax? Now, there are people saying that him saying it's a hoax is he's not explaining himself. And basically what he's saying is the list is not legit anymore. It's been tampered with. There are people saying that. But he wasn't clear about that. And I feel that's not what he's saying. I don't feel like he's saying that. He's just discarding the whole thing. And people are saying there's a MAGA infighting. And it's really not. It's really like, yo, dude, these are the worst crimes in humanity. This section of crime world is against kids, and people with a soul don't co-sign that. We don't even want to think about that. But since COVID and everybody got fucking super good on their computer and started digging, there's been a lot of smoke on this very satanic, demonic, crazy ass, fucking twisted, dirty subsect. And we're like, yo, dude, you're the dude that's going to expose this. This is the number one term of draining the swamp. You can't run on draining the swamp and let the most evil part of the cesspool go, it's existing over there. But not just saying that. You're saying that part of the swamp isn't there. There's just like little, like, sea bass in there or a couple of guppies. There's no dirty frog in there. That's just a part. What? I said, what? I say, what? You making me Korean, bro, with my eyes. What? Like, no. If he would have said, yeah, we're going to get to this, we're figuring. No. So either, there's a list of things you could say. Either he's on it, which if he was, why didn't they expose it? Well, because they're on it. Wouldn't they figure out how to take them off? I don't know, or expose it then. Or he's compromised. Bigger people are on it that control us or control him or control America. You know the players, they say. Or, I don't know. They're trying to use this as a distraction as the Archons come in. I have no idea. But nothing smells right. It's rotten in Denmark. Or it's 4D chess, which a lot of people are saying. People are saying all types of stuff. But the bottom line is, I'm so impressed with people that when this shit happened, the Milwaukee Bucks trades weren't trending as number one. Or a Barstool clip wasn't trending at number one. I'm so happy that people woke up enough to make this shit the number one trend. It's been a couple weeks. And if it's not number one, it's in there. I get that Clay is now dating Megan. Fantastic. Great couple. I want nothing but the best for them. But I'm so impressed that the Epstein cover-up is trending above it. So good for you for wanting wholeness in this world. Now, you could argue that they're just a beautiful couple, or they were activated by the MK Ultra state and go, all right, activate that distraction over there. Oh, or activate this Barstool new sports show over there, or activate the home run derby. I mean, whatever. That's how I believe it. I believe this shit is all a fucking stage. But I always said, two people told me that Trump was a real one. So I went with them because I trust them, and I still hold that hope. But this is very, very bizarre. But, we'll see. There could be a method to the madness, or it could be one of those scenarios. Anyway, because he is doing stuff like this.
Where we're going to be sending them weapons and they're going to be paying for them. The United States will not be having any payment made. We're not buying it, but we will manufacture it and they're going to be paying for it. Our last meeting of a month ago was very successful in that they agreed to 5%, which is more than $1 trillion a year, so they have a lot of money. And these are wealthy nations. They have a lot of money, and they want to do it. They feel very strongly about it, and we feel strongly about it, too. But we're in for a lot of money, and we don't want to do anymore, and we can't. But we make the best, and we're going to be sending the best to NATO, and in some cases to maybe at Mark's. Good job, Matt.
I will.
But Matt's going to coordinate. He's a very talented guy. He's going to coordinate everything. So in a nutshell, we're going to make top-of-the-line weapons, and they'll be sent to NATO. NATO may choose to have certain of them sent to other countries where we can get a little additional speed, where the country will.
The only thing I like about that is the United States is making a cut off of something that they normally wouldn't make a cut off of, but it's just dirty. But unfortunately, I don't run the world, so people still want to fight and blow each other's heads off over some stupid shit. Either it's land, which is bullshit. It's all religious wars and ideologies anyway. So I guess we're taking a cut of it, which is good because we're not paying, but it's still a dirty deal of weapons. But I mean, look, if we did it all the time anyway and we never got paid, it's a step up. Although it's just a dirty business. The war is a dirty, dirty, dirty business. But look, if we didn't have our military, I wouldn't be able to talk to you right now. We'd be in a jail. So, because evil people would come and try to take us over. So we need necessary evil. So yeah, I mean, he does stuff like that. Then we got this other stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, what was my take on it is that it's not going to go away. Everyone's going to dig. Everyone is going to search. And, you know, I'll tell you, the dominoes will fall where they fall, or it will always be hidden forever and just enough distractions. They go, over here, kitty. But I don't think so. I think people have enough appetite now. So we'll see. I know I do. Like, we can't forget about this. So it's like, where are we at? But there was something else I wanted to say about it, and I just forgot. I mean, the clearest example is Dan Bongino, who is a real truther. And the minute he gets hired by the government, he's like, there was nothing to see here. That's insane. He was the hardest core. That's like Nino, all right? That's like Nino. Okay, look at Nino's corner. That's like if Nino just got hired by the U.S. government and went, no, man, there's no aliens. Like, that was all BS. Unless he said, I was just doing it for ratings, I would be, if David Rodriguez did that, that would be like him flipping, like changing his tune that quick. Now, you could say Mr. Bongino got a lot of inside information now that he's more educated. Or you could say, hey, Dan, buddy, stop talking about it. And that's all. This all could be the very big voice of the big people, you know, that are telling everybody, don't fucking but just a way to lie to the American people. It's just the dumbest way. That either it has to be a reverse work, or this is literally the dumbest way to lie to the American people. I mean, people are even, you know, people with partial brain damage are going, this is so dumb. What do you mean it was a hoax? Like, people like in hospitals with lobotomies are going, what? This is, the list is a hoax? What? Like, everyone, dogs are going, like, you know, every fucking fruit flies are like, that's not a hoax. Like, species that can't think are like, this is weird. No. So let's just, yeah. And the way they went about it is bizarre. Now, on that, we're going to go right into this guy who did a flip. This shit has got so many levels to it. And all I wanted to do was start a podcast to sell fucking tickets to the Desert Rinse Improv. But instead now, I got to be fucking Johnny fucking Sleuth. By the way, I'm going to be at the Brea Improv on Thursday, whatever date that is. And I hate to say like and subscribe, but I have to because they fuck with me. All right, so let's watch this one.
Is the government hiding a client list or anything that the Trump administration could release tonight?
Very good question, straight on. Chris, he's going back. He's going hard now. Respect to Chris.
No, there is no client list and never has been a client list. A client list suggests that Jeffrey Epstein made a list of people to whom he trafficked women. What there is a redacted FBI affidavit from accusers. There are several of them from accusers that accuse Jeffrey, that accuse various people of having improper sex.
Potato. Okay, so there's not a specific list where Jeffrey's like, hey, you, Phil, George, okay, you do take over here. Okay, I'm done over here. Like, now it's your massage. Okay, but there's perpetrators. That's what you're saying.
And
they were sued, and they were paid out part of the $290 million. You can just look that up, settlement. The money was paid for improper conduct, i.e. ROP, i.e. underage ROP, okay? And so, you can't say it, so like, what's a soda you like to drink? Grape! So, underage So you can't say it. So long, not boring is this. He's saying is there. They accused, yo, dude, you fucked me up forever. Pay me. Okay, are we gonna go to court? I'll drive. Okay, give her $1 million. Shut her up. It's done. That's basically what he's saying. And the names are redacted, i.e. scribbled out, so you can't see who did it. Because if you paid, even though you didn't get a crime, you paid to do something. If someone yaps at me and says, Jamie Kennedy kicked me on the balls at the supermarket and they wanted $1 million, if it's the Whole Foods on Fairfax and Santa Monica, I'm going to fight that charge because there's cameras everywhere and I'm pretty sure I didn't kick you on the balls. But if it's at a Circle K in Illinois, I'm still going to fight it because hopefully there's a camera there. But what I'm saying is you fight it and you get rid of it if you think there's some fucking a smidge there. You understand? But I would feel very confident that if someone came to sue me for kicking them in the balls, that I know that if I didn't kick that person in the balls, you understand?
Has been redacted. The names of the people accused have been blacked out. Now, of course, because I was the lawyer and I did all the investigations, I know who all these people.
Now, he has definitely been accused, or definitely confirmed that he got massages. I'm not sure. He got massages, and then he said everyone was of proper age, or if they weren't, it was just a massage. So, I mean, this is pot calling kettle fucking super black. This is yarmulke calling menorah fucking dreidel.
I could figure out, based on everything that I saw, who Mr. X is, Mr. Y is, and Mr. Z. I can tell you right now, none of them are public figures who are currently in office. Some of them were previously.
They're banker
in
dorks,
office. Some
insurance
of them
dorks. I don't know.
Dead. But there is no client list.
There's got to be some shit.
The redactions could be undone if you go to court. So many of the things that are being suppressed are being suppressed by two judges.
I heard,
in Manhattan,
I did hear that today, that the GOP just
to protect
turned down
the alleged accusers who are, in the view of the judges,
the
victims,
idea to,
even though we don't know what their actual status is. But the judges have issued orders, which is why I can't disclose things I'd love to disclose, saying that you can't disclose this.
That's crazy that he says he can disclose but can't disclose but love to disclose. So aren't you a walking NID right NDA on the verge of a violation? You're scared to do it because you have a violation or you're a lawyer, but yeah, you're like teasing us, breadcrumb, breadcrumb, breadcrumb. So what's the real with that? If you have an NDA, do you have to know that you have the NDA? Can you say, I signed an NDA? I guess you can. Okay, now as I'm doing this, President Trump just called for the FBI to look into the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, which is so dumb to say that. The hoax. Okay. I mean, here's another one. Epstein victim Virginia Guffey said President Trump was not involved, and then she was suicided in April 2nd. And now they're saying Maureen Comey destroyed files. They're also saying Pam Bondi fired. Oh, I don't know. This story is just... Woo. It's going to be...
information. But Pam Bondi and the Justice Department and Donald Trump are not responsible for that. I don't know of any information.
This story is going to be the one that blows us up. This is either going to usher in the aliens or it's going to blow up the rock that we are all floating on. Or I just don't see how it goes away. It's not going to go away. The dogs are too rabid, and good for them. Good for everyone joining the movement of just wanting honesty on the darkest of subjects that apparently has been going on since the beginning of time. And you can look at it. It's a deeper thing of, Jacob sacrificed his only son. So the sacrificing of all this and all this shit and the different rituals that people do in remote parts of the world, children, all... It's fucking terrible, okay? So, and which a lot of this stuff was believed to come out of. This is not just some sick perversion, apparently. It's like a ritualistic thing, and this is the beginning top of it. So I don't see how it goes away. I don't know how many NBA trades or, you know, big pop star concerts we can watch. I think too many people are waking up. So something's going to happen. It's going to come out, and the truth will always prevail. Even if it's suppressed for decades or centuries, it will prevail. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me find one. Oh, let's finalize what Candace has to say.
All right, Star Wars fans, it's looking like we are in episode 3, Revenge of the Swamp. At least that's what I'm seeing. I'm sorry, but in this episode, I think Anakin becomes someone who embraces the dark side. Because what else could be the explanation for what is going on with the MAGA movement? And
yeah, that's so long and it's bad sound, but at the end of the day, yes. There's one other take on it.
We're not done talking about Jeffrey Epstein and the story that, that I guess one would say maybe they really botched the handling of this. Now, we had new information that was brought to light from judicial review.
So this is a crazy video, but I'm going to go right to this guy. This guy says he has the clearest take of anyone, and I think that this is where we have to listen to what he says.
Can you just tell us?
Take an L like a man, step up and
right.
say, hey, we promise you something. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, please.
Yes, what I want you to hear me say. The CIA is who's being protected here. The whole Epstein operation from the get-go is a CIA op. From Robert Maxwell to Ghislaine Maxwell.
Makes sense.
Jeffrey was a target. Robert handled Jeffrey. Robert gets killed on his yacht, gets thrown overboard. Mm-hmm. This is a CIA op.
It's all documented.
With the breadth of information, of national intelligence, of people involved, that they will never release. Not just they, Biden, they, Bush, they, Clinton, they, Obama, they, all of them. Because remember, there's no new evidence on Jeffrey Epstein. We had all of this in 2007.
Right.
Acosta. But, final word here. I know a little bit about this because 31 years I'm fighting human trafficking. Epstein is convicted as a human trafficker.
Mm-hmm.
Which means human trafficking's definition in America is the exploitation of persons through the mechanisms of force, fraud, and coercion. Which means he sold people to people.
This dude has got the perfect take, the realest take, the most easy to understand. This is human trafficking for dummies. And my question is, he's saying everyone's involved, but how come they aren't having him on CNN every night? Doesn't CNN care about people? You care about pronouns. Fox? You lean into this story more. Why aren't you having him on? Why isn't MSNBC having him on? You care. You care about, people, and you care about letting adult men who feel that they're women and they're going to get in the women's changing room. You're fine with that, but this doesn't get on your radar? A guy who's been doing it for 31 years, as clear as a bell? You lost cred, man.
So to tell me, as a 31-year veteran expert in this, that Epstein and Maxwell had no clients is dead on its face.
Mm-hmm.
You convicted him and her on human trafficking. They sold people, and people meaning minors.
Right.
Yeah, there it is. He's convicted of it. She's convicted of it. And it's minors, okay? And it ain't sex trafficking. I was going to say trafficking. It's grape trafficking. That's what it is.
Two other human beings for sex. They were...
It's ritual. And it's not X. It's not sex. This is abuse. This is abuse trafficking, non-human, treated like garbage trafficking, whatever I want, trafficking. We have to really say it in the ugly way, and it's fucking crazy that you question is, it's fucking crazy that I can't say it the way it should be said without me getting bleeped. It's fucking an abuse of children, okay? But you that have no say. That's what it is, and that's going to have to be bleeped. And what does that tell you? That they don't want you to hear people say that.
Absolutely. Customers who paid for sex, right? Because you convicted him of human trafficking. Maxwell's guys, they're convicted of human trafficking, but there's no victim and there's no customer.
There's no, if there, I mean, like,
There's no victim. 290 million was paid out to victims, and there's no customers. 290 million was paid out to victims because people did this. They didn't pay because of air. Like I just said, if I didn't kick you in the balls, I'm not paying. And even if I did kick you in the balls and I have enough attorneys, I'm going to fight that I did kick you in the balls so I don't have to pay you. And even if I did kick you in the balls and I knew I had a pretty good chance, even though I kicked you in the balls, I'm still not paying. So you're telling me billionaires or very rich people are just going to pay to make it go away because there's no truth to it whatsoever? I got an idea. Why don't you double down on a 14 against a dealer 20?
let Maxwell out today. If that's
if I'm her lawyer, I'm filing for dismissal.
1,000%.
Why am I in here?
1,000%.
Why am I convicted
File
of
for
human
dismissal.
trafficking if there's no victim and there's no customer?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
This is not even difficult.
Not.
This is borderline just basic cop down the street investigator can just
Basic
go put a
trafficking
case together.
math.
Go interview people that
Teach
were
you
there,
this
who
in
was on the island, the pilots that
101.
flew the plane, the hotel
People
staff,
go to
bring people
traffic
in,
school
subpoena
for
them,
this.
go to Wall Street, look at the book,
Yeah.
look at everybody's money he was fake managing because the guy couldn't
Yeah.
manage the lemonade stand.
Yeah.
They went to Trump in 07, 08.
You
Trump said,
learn
"Come, I'll talk to you.
this
I'll tell you
in
everything I
traffic
know about
school.
Epstein. Go to everybody else on Wall Street. They're not. Why? Because of what you'll find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I said this when it happened.
Clearest example of it, I believe, God, who runs the Blaze? That guy's great, and he used to be a comedian, and I'm blanking on his name right now, but this is his company. You should all watch him. Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, I think, has the most honest takes on all this stuff, and super informed. And again, this is independent media doing this, okay? If all the bleeding heart Democrats and liberals, quite frankly, if the bleeding heart Democrats and liberals and the Christian Republicans, this is all of it now, and the common sense independents, okay, let's say that's me. Well, I'm doing my part. I'm saying it right now. But all the bleeding heart Democrats and liberals and all the Christian Republicans, why aren't these people on? And I hope they are. But I'm not seeing them on any of the major broadcast networks. I just saw that Colbert got canceled as I'm doing this pod, which is crazy. Now, to me, my first thing, because I don't think evil first, is that, well, the whole business is disrupted, and the idea of them making the same money they would in the 90s and on late night TV, and how TikTok is and everyone's just taking away market share. It's just not profitable anymore. Sure. But if you want to go deeper, there's a lot of smoke around certain things with that show and shows like it. So is that why? Is that part of it? It's gone, which is crazy. So institutions are crumbling. Why? AI, viewer habits, technology, or everyone's scrambling to not be part of Epstein. We will stay abreast on this because it's never going to go away. But let's talk about what the good things that could happen here in terms of borders, because here you go. So, everyone hates ICE. A lot of people hating ICE, right? Because right here in Ventura, there was a whole farm that was raided, and there was a girl running with her mom, and they're like, "You're running, her daughter's running with her mom, you fucking animals, you're animals, how dare you?" And people are disrupting it and getting mad at ICE. Again, the same people crying about it are the same people that will call the boys in blue right away when someone farts on their security system. But, of course, we don't want to see people, I've said this a billion times, go that are parts of this country that are still figuring out their paperwork. If you have any influence in this world, in this country, you can just write a letter for them and extend their stay while they're figuring it out. That being said, the girl running with her mom, A, so you're supporting child labor. B, you're supporting undocumented labor. C, you're supporting undocumented labor of a mother and a child. D, you're supporting undocumented, illegal child, possibly trafficking labor. E, it was on a pot farm. You're supporting drugs. I mean, there's 6 levels to that story, but the news shows you that, okay? Now, just in, ICE arrested 11 illegal aliens, illegal in Minneapolis, and all convicted of sex crimes, okay, against kids. Tim Waltz spends $430K in legal counsel defending sanctuary. So there's an example. That's exactly why we want borders. For these dudes, we don't want them in the country. Okay, we don't want them really in any country. They should be in the concrete jail country. But that's what it is. Is there some is there problems with ICE and ripping apart people and grabbing people that aren't just, illegal criminals? Yes, there is. And I'm sorry that is happening, and it's terrible. And hopefully we can work this out. But you're not getting that reported to you, these guys, as much as you're getting that reported to you. And that's, pulling people's heartstrings, which it should, but then it looks over this type of stuff, which you need to stay in the reality chamber here. And here's another example. So if the media's not going to show it to you, I will. Here's a young little girl just enjoying a little, looks like a papusa while she's getting her paperwork. Look at, she's having a hamburger. This. I think that's a dude who's like a little circus dude who fucking disguised himself as a chick, a little girl, and they gave her a hamburger. I think the fucking ICE agents thought it was a fucking girl, gave her a hamburger. These mean men gave her a hamburger, and then they find out she's like 40. And there's documentation of this type of shit, because there was that woman who posed as an 8-year-old girl, and they found out she was like 38 and lived with a family, and she was like Ukrainian or some shit, and she had this rare genetic disorder. So he looks like an offshoot of that disorder, but that's a dude, and he's eating a burger, and I think he fooled them, and then eventually somebody said it was. So there you go. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Do you want that dude around your kids' middle school? I'm just saying. No, we got stuff like this here.
Oh, MAGA, don't you understand? If we have another civil war, all the blue states will control all the fresh water. You guys don't think this shit through, do you? Oh, MAGA, don't you understand?
What'd you see? I said last week, the hat, the hat. Once that hat comes out, it's the hat, it's the blue strips of hair, it's the pink strips of hair. But now, those glasses, when you see, look at that is an origin story. That is like Frog Ochre. That's like Frog and Joker. That is, look at her. She's a fucking demon, man. I don't understand it. Am I in a blue state? Yes. Does California control the water? What's a red state? I'm sure Tennessee's got water. Would you keep water from me? I'm in the state, even though you think I'm a MAGA nut. You call me a maggot. By the way, what is wrong with wanting to make America great again? You have to assume that it was great before and it lost its way. Is that the sales slogan of it? And I guess we want to get it back to that. But I mean, we've always been great, even through our toughest times. We are, I don't know, maybe Denmark, but aren't we the freest country in the world in Satan's fucking globe here? Under the guise of under Satan's globe, aren't we still the freest? So you tell me, but why is that a bad slogan, to make America great again? Because I don't know. I think people say that they want to open up the plantations and, you know, put women behind a stove and take their shoes away and take anyone that's not white and put them in a field. And is that it? I mean, I can tell you I live in California, and every walk of life and every sexuality and every religious belief crosses my path every minute I'm outside on the street. And I can tell you there's crimes being committed all day. Besides drugs, people smoking meth, which I see in very rich cities, besides shitting on a sidewalk or pissing, which is a biohazard, there's people you can see on the streets and they need help, and it's sad, but their pants are down. There's just half-naked people walking around and no one saying anything. That's just public indecency on steroids. So why is it bad to want to clean that up? Can someone help me with that? Let's have compassion. Let's examine each person, use AI to find out where their mental capacity is, and you just put them in different boxes. A, made a bad choice in life, and has gone down the wrong path, can be rehabilitated. B, super on drugs. Let's get him off and see where he comes out. C, cray. Mental evaluation, the brain's too far gone. Okay, well, that's another area. Let's just look at everything practically. All right, now let's get into these great news shows here. Well, on this, let's just go here for a second.
Deported all immigrants who are here illegally, 55% of the New York Times. Marquette, 64%. CBS News, 57%. ABC News with a slightly different question, 56%. So what you're seeing essentially here is a very clear indication that a majority of Americans, in fact, when they're asked this blunt question, which I believe gets at the underlying feelings, do in fact want to deport all immigrants who are here illegally. There's no arguing with these different numbers because they're all essentially the same across 4 different pollsters.
Bravo to CNN for showing this clip and taking mostly left-leaning things, which I think they all are, saying that at least half of Americans want to deport illegal immigrants. And I could tell you, if they're like me, a lot of them, I think, they don't want to like throw out good, hardworking citizens or people that are working on their citizenship. They just want to get rid of the bad eggs. And the other ones, they want to make sure they're papered up correctly, which is very easy to do. We have AI. It's very easy to document status, look at people's criminal reports, and boom. It's really simple. We can do it very simply. So the fact that a very left-leaning news station is showing this and then showing polls, that's because if that was Fox, it'd be 90%. So it's just common sense. We don't want to rip families apart, but we want to do this correctly. I'm sorry, there is some overcorrection, and you know, if you can't understand that, you could say that there's been overcorrection on things that you like, and you know, you've done it. So I don't think anybody wants to have criminals. The same with MacArthur Park. This is a great tweet from this woman. She says, right now, MacArthur Park is looking for children having a picnic with their parents while playing. We're looking for children having a picnic with their parents while playing in MacArthur Park. This is Wilshire and Alvarado. So far, we haven't seen it. It's a very cozy little hellhole. Now, this is a woman who went down there and said, because they were saying they're ripping apart families and stuff. So this is very true. I don't live far from here, and this is a staple, a beautiful park. Think of it like a film noir vibe from the late 40s, early 50s. This is a classic park in LA, and this is what it's become. And they raided it, and Karen Bass was like, stop it, you're disrupting people. But here's who ICE was disrupting.
Welcome to Sweet MacArthur Park.
He's doing heroin yoga.
What do you notice the first thing in MacArthur Park when you walk up to Alvarado and...
She's ballsy to film this shit. She put it right in a junkie's grill.
What do you want to guess what it is? Oh yeah, right. Where are we at?
Wow.
Oh yeah, MacArthur Park. I forgot. Where does it actually say that this is MacArthur Park?
Protect the park.
Is there a sign that
Protect
says
the
MacArthur
park.
Should? This is MacArthur Park. Oh, it's Wilshire and Alvarado.
There's a lot of people doing street yoga.
So we're here at Wilshire and Alvarado in MacArthur Park. So let's see.
Yeah, she's right. There it is. Again, the news is not showing you that. This woman went down there, boots in the ground. It's all bullshit. All the news is fake, paid, and fucking bought. It's it. I mean, I can tell you, I can go down to MacArthur Park right now. I can do a live stream from it. It's not what Miss Bass was saying. So Karen, you know it's full of junkies, homeless, but not homeless like, you know, that's a bad crime, but homeless because of possibly being a junkie, you know, criminals. There's nobody having picnics, which it should be. It should be. If you want to help Mexicans, lower income Mexican families who've come here and are just getting to know the culture, they rely on those parks. Okay? Lower income Mexican families have quinceañeras in those parks. They can't do that. There's not one nice little lower income Mexican family that has some values that want to go in that park. Shit. Dudes from the Eastern Bloc don't want to go in that park. You don't want to catch me near that park. Like, you can't go to that park. Go to Beverly Hills. Look at the new art exhibit they have. There's not one piece of fucking paper on that ground. And they just put this new elephant art exhibit. You see it right here? Yeah. There's not one wrapper. There's not even a cigarette butt. You know why? Because they pay money and the fucking that BHPD surrounds that shit. And guess what? MacArthur Park is a state park, and we've let it go. And I'm not saying it has to be as perfect as Beverly Hills, but don't act like we're disturbing Beverly Hills, because you can go right in there, anyone, and have a sandwich on the bench, and they still have to fight with shady characters. All right? So that's the truth about MacArthur Park. Now let's go to this one here. As our friends, our ladies at The View. The ladies at The View are they're talking about getting hyper about something. What are they hyper about?
He's not going to, say, oh, you're with a white guy, I'm going to keep you from being deported. No, he's going to deport you and put the white guy with someone else. The man is out there.
He's also
So Whoopi thinks Trump is going to take people, okay? Save this clip. Save this clip. By the way, I look like Donald Sutherland. You should put the clip in of me when he thinks it's literally going to be body snatchers. She thinks it's going to be invasion of the body snatchers. Put that clip in. That's what she thinks. People are going to steal couples and break them up. Oh, my eye. I hurt my eye doing it. Because Trump wants to deport everyone who's brown. Okay. Get them going, Whoop. We need you today to get people hyper. Go out there, scare all the non-whites, Whoopee. Get them going, please. We need the ratings. Whoop. Some gay guy with a croissant said that? I mean, come on, give me a break. I think you're okay, Whoopi. There's very prominent mixed race marriages. You've been in them. I'm going to find it very hard to believe that Trump is going to say, you're not white. Jail. You're not white. Jail. I'm trying to do it. And now this co-host of this is this lady who never smiles. This lady's got the fucking sense of humor of a fucking bedbug.
Also, I want to respond to you saying that I was hyperbolic when I talked about arranged hair.
That is hyperbolic.
No, it might be hyperbolic for you,
For
as a
Jew?
white man.
Oh, okay.
It's certainly not hyperbolic for me.
It might be hyperbolic for Jew, the white man. You brought it up. I didn't. What if I said it might be hyperbolic for Jew, the Latin lady? Like, what if I said that? I'd be in Pelican Bay, okay?
A Latino. No, I'm not being.
As a Latino. What are you? Are you a Latina? Are you a woman? Or are you a human? Are you an oppressed woman, Latina, that has a terrible life on TV every day, going from ABC to CNN, back to your condo or your fucking beautiful house in New York City? Are you speaking for the oppressed, or are you just a talking point, Anna? Do you ever laugh, Anna?
My opinion for being a white
No,
man
I'm not
is
dismissing
racist.
your opinion. I am telling you that what the Latino community, the brown
lot of them
community
disagree with you.
in
Dumb.
America.
Speak in one voice.
Okay,
You-
well, let me speak with my voice.
You're barely brown.
I mean, you said I was being hyperbolic. Let me
insulted me
respond.
racially, sure.
I'm not. You being a white man as an insult.
When you invoke it to dismiss my
Being a
opinion,
white man as an insult.
He's 100% correct.
Are you? Do you think? Do you think Latinos are living under circumstances that other people may not be right now?
He's 100% correct. He said that eloquently.
Because we're about to have a whole conversation about that very thing. But I
There
just
goes
want to make
Abby.
the point that, Brad, all she's saying is that her view of the situation.
There's oppressed private school Abby. Beautiful Abby. We love Abby. Private school. Grew up in the hood. The hood of upstate New York.
Situation is different from yours. I don't think that's an insult.
She basically said I'm wrong because I'm a white man.
She just said I see it
No,
different.
I said I see it differently
She
because
said
I'm an
I
immigrant
see it different.
She didn't say you're wrong because you're a white man. She said that you called her hyperbolic, meaning that she was getting hyper about a situation, and you were basically saying, calm down, lady. It's not as bad as you think. And she said, oh, you as a white man, and then made it about race and politics. You would never get drugged out of your house or separated from your families. That's what she's saying. I mean, there is some truth to what she's saying, but you just can't say the same shit back to her. But Mr. White Man, we said Miss Latina.
From you, which is not an insult. It's not, and it's also not a racial
It's also
insult.
not an explanation why
But
you're wrong.
we have a lot more to discuss on this very.
There's just so many of these videos going around the internet. I clicked on one on TikTok, and now it's all these people that are fucked up or walking slow to Thriller, and they're zombies. It's genius. Whoever started that is a damn genius. Hate to break it to you guys. Like, subscribe. The channel is growing. Follow all the socials. You know where to get me. Facebooky, Instagrammy, XE, Twitter, Threads, Snappy, Reddit, Rumble, everywhere. Follow, like, subscribe. Let's do this. Peace. Anyone's talking, they're blockers. That's not why I came to you. You know how fucking backwards that is? Bullshit.
hate to break it to you.